Okay, so in the last video I brought out on last Friday, I think it was, I was looking at a vocabulary test for C2 level students or potential C2 level students, people who are thinking about taking high-level Cambridge exams. People who are just interested in high-level English vocabulary, I guess, would be interested in this video. We're going to look at another 20 words today on the same website. It's part 2 of the same quiz on what's it called? profesornativogratis.com. And, well, we've got 20 more words and we've got to match them to these short definitions that you can see here. So, and hopefully I can give you a little bit of information about the words. I don't know. I hope you enjoy it. Let's just get into it anyway. Are you ready to take the C2 exam? Do you know these words? There's a few false friends, etc. Let's just get into it. So, the first word I'm looking for means remarkably bad. So something that is so bad that you're going to notice it, right? So, let's have a look. Effigy, acrimonious, fiasco. All of those three things can be used in bad situations, but they're not adjectives that mean remarkably bad. Quell, no. We're looking for an adjective, of course. Exacerbate, jurisdiction, pernicious, how do you pronounce this? Chagrin. Chagrin. Actually, I'm never sure. Is it chagrin or chagrin? I think maybe it's the UK we say chagrin and Americans say chagrin. So chagrin. Fray. Something's very, very bad. No, I don't think it's any of those so far. Egregious. So we certainly use egregious. Does it mean bad or does it mean obvious? Because you talk about an egregious error. I think like in the first part of this test, we saw the word flagrant. So I think it's almost a synonym of flagrant, which I suppose you do use when something is very bad. You say it's like you could say a remarkably bad error, an egregious error. I think it's probably egregious. Affluent, feasible, cognizant, stymie, indigent. Sorry, I always pronounce that one incorrectly. Yeah, I think we say indigent. No, arbitrary, skirmish, illicit, disparage, distraught. I'm fairly confident that the answer here is, what did I say? Egregious. Egregious, I think, means remarkably bad. Yeah, I'm going to go with that one, I think. Okay, let's move on to number 2. So, dismay, feeling of disappointment and humiliation. Yeah, this is a word I was doubting about the pronunciation of just a few seconds ago. I think this is chagrin, right? When you feel humiliated. It's a very literary term, but you will see it in articles and in novels and stuff. Chagrin, yeah. A feeling of complete disappointment and humiliation. Yeah. Okay. Right, let's move on then. So, next one. It says complete failure. This is a very interesting word, so let's have a look. It's fiasco, and it means, yeah, complete failure, which is a really interesting word, because I think it comes from the Italian word for bottle. And we have the word flask in English, which is obviously to keep your drinks warm. Take a flask of coffee to work, maybe. And in Spanish, they have the word frasco, which is like a jar to keep, condiments in. And, yeah, why do we use this word bottle? I think there's an Italian expression, something like far fiasco, to make a bottle. In English, when you fail at something, we often say you bottle it. You bottle something. it's very interesting. I don't know where these expressions come from, where this idea that bottling has something to do with failing. So I wonder if anyone can help me out with that in the comments. But yeah, fiasco is a complete failure. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any doubt about that one. Okay, let's move on to the next one, number 4. Based on a whim, no good reason. So on a whim is like a capricious whatever feeling. Yeah, there's no reason for it. There's no logic behind it. It's just a gut instinct based on a whim, on a hunch. Effigy, acrimonious, fiasco, quell, exacerbate, jurisdiction, pernicious, chagrin, fray, egregious, affluent, feasible, cognizant, stymie, indigent, arbitrary. Right, yeah, I think this is it really, isn't it? We talk about arbitrary reasoning, I suppose. When we say something is arbitrary, it means you have to put a limit somewhere, usually. So, well, you can vote when you're 18. That's very arbitrary. Well, yeah, it is, but we have to make a decision as a group where the line is drawn. And so you may say it's arbitrary, but you know, there's no real reason behind it. Why can't you vote at 17? Why isn't it older? Why isn't it 25? Why aren't there other factors involved? But yeah, it's arbitrary. Just have a look at the others. Skirmish, illicit, disparage, distraught. I don't think it's any. It couldn't be any of them. Couldn't be any of those words. So yeah, based on a whim, no good reason. It's arbitrary. Yeah. Okay. Number 5. Poor, needy. Yeah. This, if you're a speaker of a Romance language, this shouldn't be too difficult. It's the one I pronounced incorrectly. Indigence. If you're poor, you're needy, you're necessitous. You're said to be we talk about being indigent, right? So where can we see this? Yeah, there we go. Indigent. Okay. All right, let's have a look at number 6. It says to irritate or to make worse. I can't think which word I've seen there that means that so far. To irritate or to make worse. So to aggravate, maybe, but I don't think aggravate was there, was it? Quell, exacerbate, of course. To exacerbate is to make something worse. You exacerbate a problem. For example, yeah, absolutely. To irritate, to make something worse. You exacerbate the problem. Absolutely. All right, number 7. Brief encounter. A brief encounter, that's the name of a film, isn't it? Brief Encounters, isn't it? A brief encounter. Fiasco, quell, jurisdiction, chagrin, egregious, affluent, stymie, indigent, arbitrary, skirmish, illicit, disparage, distraught. A brief encounter? Well, skirmish is a fight. I can't think that that's an encounter exactly, but it might be skirmish. Oh, or now fray can also be used as like a fight. So could it be fray? Could it be skirmish? Skirmish comes from battle. Skirmish is a very interesting word. It seems to me that Latin words in English have sort of gone from Italy into Spain and up through France and into England, and geographically they've sort of lost their way and become this sort of devolved thing that sounds like the word. So you've got this word skirmish, which is actually a Latin word, even though it doesn't look like it, because in Spanish we have the word escaramuza, which I think exists in French as well. It's a scaramouche or scaramoucher is, I think, a verb to fight. I think a skirmish, maybe you could call that a brief encounter, maybe, but it's a fight. And a fray as well is like a fight if they're used as a noun. I can't see any other words there. Brief encounter. Well, it's either going to be fray or skirmish. I'll tell you what could help me decide here is if we see the other definition of fray, which is as a verb, which means when material, cloth in particular, starts to lose bits of thread, right, and it starts to break with age from overuse. So I'm going to have to come back to number 7, I think. I'm going to have to come back to it. Let's move on to number 8. Bitter, acrimonious. Yeah, we talk about an acrimonious divorce. Bitter, you're angry, you're vengeful, you're acrimonious, you're bitter. So yeah, so far so good. Number 7, still not sure. Number 9, fight. So, okay, one of them is a fight and one of them is a brief encounter. I think I'm going to have to go fray, fight. Oh, God, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Is fray a fight? I mean, a skirmish definitely is a fight. But it does sound like a brief fight. Fray, is that a fray? Well, I think skirmish is always used in a violent sense. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know whether to say. Skirmish does sound brief. Definitely, but is that the definition? I'm going to say skirmish is a fight. And I'm going to say fray, brief encounter, but I would never have defined fray as a brief encounter, really, I have to say. But anyway, let's move on, I guess. Number 10, stop, put an end to. Okay, now this is an interesting, very interesting word, actually. To put an end to something. I think the word here, I think I know which one it is to quell. To stop something, to put an end to it. So this can be in a good sense or in a bad sense. So you can kill something. In fact, the word kill and quell seem to share an etymology. I think they both come from sort of Germanic or Norse, and there's some old English words like quellen and quailen and things like that, which seem to mean to kill something, right? But we use it in a positive and a negative sense. So you can quell somebody's fears. You know, a child is scared of something, and you can quell the fears by soothing them. And also you can quell an uprising, of course, if there is, I don't know, a rebellion in a country. You know, the armed forces can quell it. No, they can crush it. They can suppress it. So yeah, the answer is definitely quell. And we've got another word which is to quench as well. So it's to sort of we use it sort of as to satisfy your thirst, to satiate, to quench. But if you think about it, when you quench something, when you satiate something, well, I suppose you're feeding it, but you're also sort of like crushing it. You're stopping it, right? You're getting rid of it. In terms of thirst and hunger, quench your thirst. But anyway, we're talking about quell, to stop, to put an end to something. And I think that would be quell, yeah. There's stymie as well, but I think that's different. So let's have a look at number 11. It says possible. If something is possible, it can be done, right? It's doable. It is feasible, which again is an interesting word if you speak a Romance language. Of course, we fait, the verb in French to do. Again, interesting if you go sort of older Latin languages like Spanish, their old word for hacer, to do, was facer. For some reason in Spanish they've removed the F's and put silent H's at the beginning of words over time. And yeah, feasible just means doable, but we don't, as far as I know, use the verb fees, to do, anymore. Anyway, feasible. Don't know if we ever did use it. But yeah, feasible means something can be done. Absolutely, it's possible. Right, let's move on to number 12. It says a likeness of, usually of a hated person. Ah, right, okay, yes, it's the first word we have here. I remember the first time I heard this word, effigy, was when I was, how old would I have been? Like, about 8, 9 probably. David Beckham, they made an effigy of David Beckham when he got sent off in the World Cup against Argentina in 1998. He got a red card, and some Manchester United game, I can't remember what fans did it, if it was Manchester United fans or some other team, I can't remember. For some reason Tottenham comes to mind. Anyway, I don't remember. I just remember there was an effigy of David Beckham wearing a dress. Not a dress, a sarong, because he... It's like, what you don't do is get sent off in the World Cup and then go to red carpet events with your pop singer wife wearing a sarong, because people will make effigies of you. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, likeness of a hated person. We see effigies of political leaders around the world being burnt and things like that. So yeah, effigies, absolutely. Okay. Number 3, harmful or causing injury. I've seen something around here, harmful, causing injury. Ah, yeah, pernicious, absolutely. If something is pernicious, we talk about pernicious ideas, pernicious behavior. Yeah, to cause harm or to cause injury. It's basically dangerous behavior, I suppose, you could say, in a way. Okay, so harmful, causing injury. Let's move on to number 14. Range of authority, power. Range of authority. Aha, right, okay, yeah, I've got this, absolutely. So how far what are the limits of your power? What is under your jurisdiction, right? Yeah, so that's how far your power goes. Unanswered, it says I've got 7 unanswered. Again, this is, oh right, yeah, fair enough. I'm on number 14. I'm not sure. Have I failed to answer any of these? I don't think so. But anyway, there should be 6 unanswered. But let's go. Range of authority, power. Yeah, it's definitely going to be your jurisdiction. That's not in my jurisdiction. Aware, yes, if you're aware of something, you're conscious of something, or you are cognizant. Well, we can say cognizant. Where did I see that word? There it is, cognizant. Okay, good. So, let's see the next one. Aware, cognizant. Rich, wealthy. Yeah, I've seen this one. We talk about poor areas. We also talk about, we don't say rich areas. We often say this word, affluent areas. That seems to be the one that people prefer to say for one reason or another. Don't know why. But yeah, affluent society, affluent areas of a city. Absolutely. Rich, wealthy. Okay, 17. Hysterical, upset, distressed. Yeah. So it's how you're feeling, and I think this is just a word that's sort of become, we've sort of created two versions of the same word to mean slightly different things, and it's distraught, which I assume comes from destroyed. I actually don't know that, but yeah, I think distraught seems to come from destroyed. I could be completely wrong about that. It's my feeling, no? But you're feeling hysterical, upset, distressed, you're distraught. Maybe it doesn't come from destroyed, and I'm just talking nonsense. That's how I remember it anyway. Okay, let's have a look at 18. To hinder, to impede. Right, so this is an interesting word. And it, so it's a verb here. It's stymie. It's stymie. To hinder, to impede, to block, to to get in the way of, to stymie something. And I think it comes from golf. I'm not sure what the origin is, but certainly in golf, I think when a ball gets in the way of another ball, sort of between the ball and the hole, the cup on the green, we call that a stymie. But I don't think that happens anyway, do they? Because they like pick the ball up off the green now and put a marker in its place. So yeah, I don't know what the origin is there of that word, but yeah, to hinder, to impede, to stymie something, to put an obstacle in the way of something. Okay, 19. Belittle, discredit. So these are verbs. To discredit someone, to belittle someone, sort of to to make out that their opinion is less valuable than yours, I suppose. Arbitrary, skirmish, illicit, disparage. Yeah, I think it's disparage, yeah. Disparaging views, disparaging argument. Yeah, I think so. To disparage someone, to belittle, or to discredit something, to disparage it. I think so. Okay, number 20 then. Draw out or extract. So to draw something out, pull it out of a sleeve, for example. To extract, to draw out. To make longer than necessary. Aha. I guess illicit, though it's not in a physical sense, is it? It's in a figurative sense. You elicit something, you draw an answer out, you elicit an answer from your students. So I guess it's illicit. And 85 out of 100. Unanswered. I don't understand. What haven't I answered? Which one haven't I answered? Here we go again. This always happens. Let's see. Okay, so here I've got all the answers. Ah, I see. So there you go. According to them, skirmish is a brief encounter. Yeah, I would say a skirmish is a brief fight. I don't think it's a brief encounter. Encountering someone is just to meet them, right? If you have a skirmish with someone, you have a... Yeah, I think it is like a brief, but definitely a violent encounter, or it's a clash, really, more than an encounter, no? And fray, yeah, definitely is a kind of fight, I guess. Yeah, so I can see how I got those two wrong, though I am a little bit annoyed about that. I think if I had a brief encounter with the creator of this quiz, we may come to have a skirmish of our own. Because, Our relationship, if we knew each other, would now be frayed. You know? Anyway, I think we've finished with part 2 of this quiz. There's another part. I think I'm going to have a look at it. Maybe not in the next video. I'll do something different. But, hey, in another video. Okay, we're done for today.